Hello, hello everybody. Um, Let me know if you can see this. This is my very first Periscope, and so I'm really nervous. Let's see here. So, hope you guys can all see me. Alright, so today, this is my first scope, so if you see me glancing down, I'm actually looking at my notes to remember what it is that I'm going to be talking about, and it's my first one, so probably a lot of ums and pauses, but let me know if everything is working for you. So I'm gonna go through introduction, right? My name is Yasmin and I am from RoblesDesigns.com, and I'm a brand stylist and a designer, graphic designer, for startup entrepreneurs, especially for female-run businesses, online businesses. And pretty much I like glitter bombing your brand, and I make it look beautiful, and I help you target your correct market and get the clients that you need. So today we're going to talk about 3 steps to really starting your brand visuals and making everything look cohesive while on a budget, because I totally get how you can be on a budget and not have the funds to really hire a designer, hire somebody that will help make your brand and your online business look amazing. So the first thing that you should do is to get a good sense of your brand style. So what I always recommend to clients is going around to either previous clients, to family members, anybody that really knows them or has worked with them, and ask them to, in one word, to describe you. So if you get 5 people that describe you as energetic and your brand looks bland and very corporate, then there's a disconnect. If they say that you're very professional and your target market is, for example, law firms, and your site is has glitter everywhere, then it might not be for you. So again, this is one of the most important steps that I ask my clients to take, is to really see where they are at and what they are like, and if their brand currently reflects that. Then to start off with the visuals, you always should start off with, not with colors. Everybody really wants to start with colors and their logo. Everybody wants to start with a logo, but you really should try to find the font that you need. You need one personality font and then one regular font. And the regular font can be anything like Helvetica, Arial, anything that is simple to read, that will be used for all of the body copy on your website, that will be used almost everywhere. 80% of the time it's going to be that one font. So let's say you picked Arial, and then you need one personality font. This means that one font that really resonates with you. So if people said that you were really timeless and you use a font similar to Times News Roman or anything like that, if you just pick one font and then that's it. Do not pick any more fonts. Stay with just one personality font and then one regular font, and do not overload yourself with any more fonts. Write those down, the ones that you've chosen, and then stick to those, because you don't want you want it to be really cohesive and branded. So you want to continually use the same personality font. You don't want to mix it up too much, and you also want to make it easy on yourself. You're starting a business, you're on a budget, you don't have money for a designer, and you shouldn't be learning about design. If you're a speech therapist, you should be doing the work that you want to do, versus really trying to figure out how to design the heck out of your business. So then after you've picked your fonts, what I always suggest, if you can't afford to hire a designer to create an awesome logo for you, go on something like Canva or PicMonkey, and play around with the fonts that they have. And usually those fonts are available through Google, so you can always download them and use them on your website if you wanted to. So you can go on Canva and then play around with the fonts that they have, and once you pick the fonts that you want, start playing around with the arrangement. And what I suggest, again, 80% of your fonts that and 80% of your style should be used with a regular font, such as Arial, Helvetica, and then the other 20% of your site, of your logo, anything like that, should be that personality font that you picked out, and stick with that. And the thing is, because you want that 80-20 balance, you don't want to overload people with some kind of special font that you're continually using and might become hard to read. And so stay with the 80-20. And again, I'm looking at my notes. It's my first scope, so I've got to, I guess I have to memorize what I'm going to be talking about. But so you picked your two fonts and you now have a sense of your style. Now you can finally go into your colors and start adding colors into that Canva document that you've been playing with, and just, you know, add blocks of colors, see what works best and see what one color resonates. So at the end, you're going to have your two fonts, your list of words that people have used to describe you, and then you're going to pick one color. Stick with one color. Let's say you are a fashionista and your one power color is red. So stick with red and then add it to, you know, black and white or grays. Do not try and do complementary colors or triads or anything like that. Don't complicate it for yourself. You want your brand to be cohesive, and if you don't have the time or the budget to hire a designer to create all these awesome color schemes, if you don't, and you really shouldn't, if you're starting out and you're kind of trying to find your footing of where you want to go, you can just stick with that one color. It'll be super simple for you. On Canva, it gives you the color code for the color that you've chosen, so write that down and then see if you can find out also the print version of that color code. So usually that's CMYK or an RGB color code. Write those down so you have it handy, and then that way you can reuse it on all of your other marketing pieces, or if you do eventually get a designer, you can say, hey, this is my color, can you stick with this color? So at the end, the three things that you need, 3 steps that you need to take in order to really create a cohesive brand on your own, if you're not a designer and you can't afford to hire a designer, is figure out what your market, or I guess what people who know you, what they think of you, and what one word they would use to describe you. So if they say energetic, if they say fun, if they say professional, calm, find out what that word is, because that'll help which direction your style, your brand style should take. Then pick your 2 fonts. Again, stick with the 80-20 rule of 80% of the time you're going to use a plain font like Helvetica, Arial, and then 20% of the time you're going to use that one personality font, and stick with that font, and don't go overboard on fonts, because it'll just make your site or whatever marketing piece you have be overloaded, and you might end up having it look amateurish. So always stick with those. And then finally, pick your one power color and stick to that power color. Remember exactly what the color code is, and then instead, if you're creating a site, for example, surround that color with white, black, or grays, just so that that color really stands out and it becomes your brand color, instead of overloading people with a bunch of different colors and then overloading yourself too with trying to remember all of the different colors that are you know, that go with your brand. So those are the 3 steps, or the 3 tips that I have, yeah, so this is my first scope, and send me some hearts if you liked it, and if anybody has any questions for or future topics for scopes, I'm going to be trying to do this every Sunday, doing a brand chat. So if nobody has any questions, this was just a quick and dirty scope, and thank you for the people who joined me live. And yeah, so I hopefully I got the jitters out. I'm not as nervous anymore, and I will see everybody. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I was really nervous. Like I've been wanting to do a scope for like 2 months now, and I kept putting it off. But okay, so yeah, so if you can always find me at RoblesDesigns.com, and always contact me. You can find me at my Facebook group, Bad Bitch Brands, and yeah, so you can send me any ideas that you want to hear about for scopes. So I will, let you guys go now instead of rambling on like a nervous weirdo. All right, bye everybody.